Hello, good evening, and welcome to The Probe. I'm Carlos Caloni. We are live on DSTV, channel 421, GoTV, channel 125, Joy 99.7 FM, and Love 99.5 FM. We're also streaming live on all our social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and X, at Joy News on TV. Around the world, we are on myjoyonline.com. The show is interactive, so you can share your thoughts under our live streams or on WhatsApp number 054 0109009 or 055 111 1997. It's been months of sustained strength as the Ghana cedi continues its bullish run against major international currencies, pushing the exchange rate further down to about 10 cedis 80 pesos to the dollar today. While the cedi's appreciation is welcome news for businesses and policy makers alike, many consumers are yet to feel its impact at the marketplace. Why? Because importers argue that their shelves are still stocked with goods procured at a higher pre-recovery exchange rate, and those must be sold off before any pricing adjustment can reflect the current FX gains. Apart from that, freight forwarders claim that despite falling exchange rates, shipping lines continue to charge freight, clearance, and administrative fees at the port based on previous higher dollar rates. This has left many importers, including freight forwarders, frustrated and consumers asking. So tonight we ask, who truly holds the authority to ensure Ghanaian consumers benefit from a stronger local currency? And why are shipping lines still charging outdated exchange rates despite the cedi's new strength? And why does the Ghana Shippers Authority appear to be silent while you and I, the final consumers, bear the burden of these high charges? These are just some of the pressing questions we'll be exploring tonight here on this particular show. Joining me after the break will be Adamu Imoro Ayana. He is the executive member of the Ship Owners and Agent Association of Ghana. He's here in studio with me. Also in studio is Stephen Ajokache. He is the president of the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders. He's also in studio. And on the telephone line is Michael Ochribefi. He's a ranking member on Parliamentary and Tourism Committee. We'll also be speaking with some of the clearing agents to also appreciate their daily experience at the port. This is The Probe with me, Carlos Caloni. We'll take a short break. We'll return. Please stay. Thank you so much for joining us here on The Probe. Let me begin from the studio because we have all the stakeholders in here to share the experience they have with us. Let me start with you, Mr. Ajokache. You're welcome to The Probe. It's been a while since we last met.
Very well, very well.
Great. So share your experience with us at the port as we speak. We know the cedi is gaining a lot of strength against the dollar, particularly also including other currencies. How is the experience like? Is this reflecting in what you do at the port?
First of all, let me just greet the listeners and those who are viewing us today.
All right.
I want to say the cedi's growth is a very good thing for businessmen, freight forwarders, and everybody that you can think of.
Okay.
First of all, a few months ago, containers that we take out of the port or we clear out of the port, you come to realize that taxes have been down because of the value of the cedi today in Ghana. So it's joy for everybody in Ghana. So we pray and hope that it is not scientific, it is not something that is going to just a 9-day wonder, but you stay so that business can grow, so that the last man on the street can enjoy.
Is this reflecting when you go, you as a freight forwarder, you go to the port to do business? Are you paying less at the port?
Yeah, we are paying less because of the exchange rate.
Okay. How about dealing with the shipping lines, for instance?
Oh, shipping lines, fortunately or unfortunately, some lines are still not charging against because they peg their administrative charges in dollars. So they use the exchange rate weekly to calculate whatever charges is meant for you. So you can realize that some of them, their rates are lower and some are higher. So just about even a month ago, I wrote to the Ship Owners and Agents Association. And the reply my brother brought to me,
Right.
I said that one, we still have to go deeper into it because I can't understand why we are working in Ghana here. They are taking rates from their principals to apply here. And no matter how they explain it to me, I will not understand. But we have institutions, regulators, who are supposed to ask them questions. I don't know whether the regulators are sleeping.
We are talking about the Ghana Shippers Authority.
Ghana Shippers Authority, Transport Ministry. They are supposed to look into those things. Because today, how can you quote 16.01 when dollar is 12.3?
In fact, this morning, our checks revealed that it's around 10.9 thereabout.
So definitely we will be looking at tomorrow. The week is starting tomorrow. So we see how other agencies who have pegged their administrative charges in dollars. Even, let me just say this.
So
Let me just say this first. Shipping lines are not supposed to be pegging administrative charges in Ghana in dollars before they apply the exchange rate.
tell us the difference between the administrative charges and the freight charges.
Administrative charges, when you bring a container in, definitely there will be some works before you get your container from the shipping line. They'll release the container for you before you can go to the port authorities to also pay their charges before you have your container. So that one, we understand administrative charges.
That happens here.
Here in Ghana.
Right.
After you have received your bill of lading, paid your duties, gone to them to release your cargo. That is where they charge, they peg it in dollars and calculate the weekly rate. But I'm saying that shouldn't even be. They should be charging cedis. So that it is, if it is 5,000 per 20-footer container, it's 5,000 cedis.
Okay.
So it flows all over the year. Our neighbors, Togo here, their charges are cheaper than ours.
The same administrative or freight?
Administrative.
Okay.
It's administrative. Freight is different.
Yeah, I do know that freight is different.
Yeah.
So I want to get the distinction to
freight,
understand exactly what the shipping lines are doing when it comes to freight and when it comes to the administrative charges.
As for freight, it's like transportation fee.
Exactly.
You've loaded your container onto a vessel. You pay the freight before the vessel deliver your container here in Ghana or wherever you're taking your containers to.
Okay.
Sure. So freight is negotiable. If I'm doing more units, I can even get freight lesser than somebody who's doing like 2 containers a month or 1 container a month.
Right.
But if I'm doing like 50 units a month, I can get freight as low as even $1,600.
Okay.
That's the transportation for carrying a container to this country.
But these freights are charged in dollars.
They are charging dollars.
And that's acceptable.
That's acceptable by
But the administrative charges are not supposed to be charged in. First of all, these administrative charges, are they legal? Because if I pay my freight from, say, Holland, I want my cargo delivered to Tema Port or Takoradi Port, and it gets to the port, and you're asking me to pay administrative charges again. I want to know, per the Ghana Shippers Authority regulation, am I supposed to pay those administrative charges?
That's like I mentioned earlier on that. There are some few operations they do here in Ghana here. So definitely, administrative charges shouldn't be anything so expensive that the client will be bearing. So today, how can you pay 16,000 cedis for a 40-footer container just for administrative fee? If they're to be pegged in cedis, Ghana cedis, you don't have gone that far. Because months back, when the dollar was lower, the same container, we were paying about 8,000 cedis. But look, it's doubled because they are using the exchange rate
to calculate it.
Because they pegged it in dollar index. So they use the exchange rate always to calculate.
And you are telling us this evening that even though the cedi has gone down to about 10, 11 cedis, the shipping lines are still charging.
Up for the 10th, because we're going to use it in the coming week.
Yeah.
That's tomorrow. So we're not going to talk about the previous week. Dollar was 12 cedis, 12 point something. But majority of them were not using it. Mike's was around 13 cedis. We'll say, okay. But some lines were still up.
Okay.
That's what we don't understand. So we are telling Shippers Authority they should back and bite.
They are not biting?
They are not biting.
Why?
I don't know whether they can, if the seat is too hot for them, they should put in somebody who can run the show.
What do you expect the Shippers Authority to do?
They have a law now. So they should act on that law. So that shippers and businessmen can be released.
As it stands now, do you think the shipping lines are shortchanging importers and freight forwarders like you?
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Hold it. Let me go to Mr. Ayana. You are the executive member of the Shipowners Association of Ghana. And of course, you speak for the shipping lines. These concerns being raised by, importers as well as freight forwarders. What is your reaction to it? They are saying that you are charging them higher than the actual rate as we speak.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, and good evening to all the visitors. I will start off by saying, I think in your opening remarks, I heard you saying that traders are saying they cannot reduce the charges right now.
Yeah, because
or
they still
cost
have
because of
yet to sell.
You see, in every situation, you have to understand the principle behind it. So first, people have to appreciate and understand the principles in shipping. And as we have it in Ghana, we have different levels of shipping agencies in Ghana. And we have some that we call, they operate on what we call a cost-plus basis. And a cost-plus basis means that every income that you generate around the container that comes into Ghana, it's for the principal. Every cost. So every charge is set by the principal. There might even be a charge that is the incidence of collection is here, but it's not a basic ocean freight, but it's related to freight and it's part of the income on the container. So first, it's important to appreciate and understand what that is. Then you can start complaining to say if somebody is shortchanging somebody or otherwise. On the issue of rate of exchange, I think I explained just a couple of days ago that it's just the structure of the business that people operate. And I've already read in the newspapers or something that Ayana is saying that the shipping lines take rate of exchange from the country of origin. That smacks of a bit of mischief. Because at the end of the day, rate of exchange are not the preserve of Ghana, because Ghana also operates on the international market. So this rate of exchange will have to cut across. Even if Ghana is going to pay their debt or whatever, these rate of exchange are going to be determined. It's an international rate. If the right now that the rates are falling, the dollar is falling against the Ghana cedi, I think everybody is watching from the international players, and this is going to affect trade and everything. So what I explained to others is, and including my brother here, he brought a situation to me. And I told him that very shipping line that you are complaining about, their modus operandum is such that 7 days prior to the vessel docking in Tema, they lock in the rate of exchange. And they also operate on a cost-plus basis. Okay. So all the charges that they charge, all the incidental charges, including the basic ocean freight, it's not set by the local company.
Right.
Because that is the preserve of the principle. So every single cedi, whatever it is set by the principal. The interesting thing we have to know is the shipping lines forward pay, or for want of a better word, prepay all their charges. And that is why they will lock up those charges.
No, I'm not clear with that particular.
All right. All the services rendered, the shipping line has other auxiliary service charges, okay, right? That people always talk about. Sometimes people say administrative charge, this charge, that charge. What is happening is some of these things come from third parties who support the shipping lines, the activities of the shipping lines.
Okay.
So the shipping lines pay these ahead of schedule. They don't wait for the service to be activated or done before they pay most of these charges. So at the end of the day, this very shipping line that my brother brought to my attention, their process is such that when my vessel is coming, because most times I think they come from South Africa or so that is the last journey into Ghana. So when these things are coming, it's about 7 days into Ghana, there plus or minus. So that is when we lock in the rate of exchange. So every cargo on that container, every container on that vessel would attract that very rate of exchange. So for instance, the very situation they brought to me, the vessel left origin on the 1st of March. I don't know where it came from before it got to Ghana on 28th of April. And when you check internationally, whether on the Ghana exchange rates, wherever platform, you check on Oando, you check on Bloomberg, you check on everywhere. Around that time, the cedi was around 15 point something, 16 thereabout. So every cargo on that that vessel would still maintain that rate of exchange until it is exhausted. Just when the cedi, at the point in time when the cedi was about the dollar was about 8 cedis to $1, I recall it's the same modes that the shipping lines used. And all the cargo that were coming attracted this $8 or $10, 10 cedis or whatever, right? When they came in, the cedi went haywire. They never touched the rate of exchange. They still maintained that rate of exchange because it's been locked already.
Mr. Ajokachi,
at that time, nobody was complaining.
You agree?
At that time,
I was coming to ask you.
The question is, if it was 16 and everybody knows it's 16, why am I going to complain?
Because it was April 28, and check the rate of exchange. You can even let your people check right now that what was the rate of exchange around that time. And you know, in business, I do business. Ajokachi is a very big businessman. As for the freight forwarding business, it's a secondary business.
Anyway.
When you are, look, you see the rates of advertised as maybe 15 points, whatever.
Okay.
When you are going to transfer your money to your whatever, your buyer or whatever, you'll be paying about maybe 16. So everybody hedges. Everybody will be like, okay, the base rate plus or minus a certain percentage. And that's why when you see it at maybe 15.8, somebody will be charging 16.2 or 16 or thereabout. These are simple things. And if people understand, and the very shipping line that he's talking about, as at last week, he knows all their shipments coming is at 12 point something. So sometimes I don't even see the issues.
So you are disputing the concern being raised by freight forwarders and importers that as at, let's say, 2 weeks ago, you were still charging them the old exchange rates.
Some shipping lines.
You see,
some shipping lines.
I'm not even disputing. For me, coming on this platform is to educate. That's what it is.
No, but we want clarity before education. We want clarity before education.
That's a clarity.
Were the shipping lines charging more than necessary?
They weren't. This is what I'm saying. Everybody can check. On the 28th of April, what was the dollar to cedi rate at the time?
You did business around that time.
Yeah, but
what can you tell us in terms of how much the shipping lines actually charged?
No, as at that particular time, there were still differences.
Okay.
Because some were charging lower than some.
Okay.
But I always say that, can't we, now that you are here, how is it that all shipping lines, administrative charges, it is not the same? It should be the same because we are all working in the same country. They're all coming to this country, paying the same fees at the port. Nobody's paying higher than the other, but fees are different.
All the shipping lines have different administrative charges.
If you go to Togo,
it cuts across all the shipping lines.
No, Mr. Ajokachi, sorry to say, I think I should have shared maybe two different lines from Togo. It's not the same. But let me explain something why the administrative charges cannot be the same. And that is why we have challenges with people who talk about all these things. The cost base of every shipping line is different. The cost base of every shipping line is different.
I understand.
You understand me? So there's no way. And there is this, all the shipping lines, our members, the ship owners and ship owners membership are all globally affiliated. And so they are also mandated, or they fall under the EU anti-competition rules. So they run their businesses independent of each other.
Okay.
So we cannot even sit around the table to talk of pricing.
Okay.
Because in the first place,
But he's making the claim that if you go to our neighbors, Togo,
they
have their charges almost...
People can say all they want to say. Evidence is the order of the day.
Oh.
Let them produce the evidence.
So you disagree that our neighbors are having a say
for the shipping lines?
For the shipping lines.
No, it can't be. It can
Are you
never
talking
be.
about the administrative cost?
Only administrative
charges.
It's not freight.
Yeah.
Administrative charges, like releasing your container.
Let me tell you something. He says the cost will be the same, right?
Yeah.
Let me cite a very simple scenario. I come with a vessel of maybe 300 containers, right? These 300 containers, except the, what do you call it? Maybe diplomatic cargo, and I don't know if it's military or something cargo. Ghana Shippers Authority levies $2 per ton on every cargo that comes into Ghana, charged to the shipping line. And the shipping lines would have to pay that in dollars, $2 per ton. And the rate of exchange is fixed by Ghana Shippers Authority. It's not that we can just pick the Bank of Ghana rates. When you get the invoice from Ghana Shippers Authority, you have to reach out to them to ask, what is the rate for this? Because they allow you to
determine that particular rate.
They will tell you what it is, okay? Now, this is for the cargo, right? Then you come to Ghana Maritime Authority. They charge by the gross tonnage of the vessel.
Okay.
So if we have two vessels of the same size coming, and one brings 200 containers, and another brings 600 containers.
Definitely, they're going to be variation.
Definitely, there's going to be disparity, right? Because the one who brought the 600, the 200, the lesser containers rather, is going to incur more cost.
So on one leg, you can have a uniform charge when it comes to the Ghana Shippers Authority. But when it comes to the Ghana Maritime Authority,
you cannot.
You cannot have that.
That is one.
Okay.
The other aspect is, because I tell you, these companies operate differently. A particular shipping line can pick a truck off the market and say, I don't mind how you are, just drop my empty containers or move my empty containers wherever. My insurance covers it. Another one will go for trucks with comprehensive insurance. This is a different cost base. And all of them give different services. Ask my brother, Mr. Ajokache, whether he gets the same service from all the shipping lines. He will tell you, oh, no, I like this one because here when I go...
But that should be concerning because at the end of the day, even though they are all in business, we are not expecting all of them to charge same because, I mean, no, even banks don't do same, but there should be some sort of, arrangement so that the importer and also the freight forwarder gets the actual value, especially when it comes to the exchange rate. That has been their concern, that even though the cedi is appreciating, the shipping lines are not charging what they're supposed to charge.
But I just confirmed to you, gentlemen, and he just confirmed that now most of the shipping lines are charging what they have currently that is coming into the country. When the cedi started to drop, all of them are aligning, and it will be plus or minus. I mean, it will more be plus than minus.
Usually,
right?
what should be the periods?
I don't know.
Because if the cedi drops in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, we are saying that the exchange rate at the port almost at the same. Why does it take so much time?
Oh, what time has it taken? Because cargo came on 28 April, and 28 April, the cedi was about 15 point something, 16. So, and that cargo, when you clear it in 3 months' time, it's still going to be 16. When you clear it in 1 year time, it's still going to be 16. Likewise, if I had brought cargo that was at 10 to the dollar, and the cedi moves to 16,
it'll still be 10.
You'll still be 10. 1 year down the line, it will still be 10.
Why is it? Why can't we have it?
No, because they have prepaid, and that is the cost that they use for that voyage. So payment has been done, cost has been expended already on 10 or on 16.
That is for the freight?
No, for everything, all the charges.
Including local administrative charges?
What is local what is the service that goes into local administrative charges? What is it? There are so many factors that goes into it. He himself told you. that the shipping lines do quite some business around here, right?
So, but
what happens when you are paying stevedoring charges, discharging of the containers? You are charged in dollars, but you are allowed to pay in cedis. So what would you do? You would peg it. You would look at the rate of exchange, right? The shipping line is invoiced in dollars. Okay.
Now, before I go to Michael Berfi, freight forwarders are raising another concern that the law requires you, the shipping lines, to negotiate your charges with the Ghana Shippers Authority. Do you do that?
Which charges? Sometimes I don't understand some of the issues, and it's important for us to define issues.
So let's be specific.
Is it the principal charges?
No, the local administrative charges.
What is local administrative charges? I just explained to you.
No, I understand that.
No,
I'm saying that it is the Ghana Shippers Authority that is supposed to regulate what you do. So you cannot say because you are a shipping line, you just slap any price.
We don't just slap any price.
So that's what I want to know. Do you have that arrangement with the Ghana Shippers Authority where, so we have a form of regulation? You don't just charge unsuspecting people any money at all?
We don't do that. You're right. We don't do that. And it's important for us to educate people. You want clarity, but clarity comes with education. At the end of the day, when a shipper comes to me, we have negotiated the terms of contract already. So the shipper is supposed to know whatever cost is going to come on that container. If people care to know and they can do their job well and go on the website of the shipping lines, all these things are stated there. The rules, the description, the whatever, is all stated there. And I know the next thing we'll be talking about would be demurrage.
Exactly. I was going to come to demurrage.
Yeah, I know that's the next thing.
Yeah.
You come to me and I'm telling you that, listen, as I'm giving you this box to trade with, right, it's based on calendar days and it's weekend and holidays inclusive. Because when I went for the long lease of that container from the owners of the containers, they didn't tell me that when there's holiday here, cut it off or whatever. I have paid that figure. Right. And when you come to me, I explain to you before I give you the container. If you do not agree to that, then we have to then agree before to disagree. You know, so some of the times we have to look at the contractual nature of this. And if you care to know, yes, the Ghana Shippers Authority bill, the new bill came out, right? And most of the times you need some kind of understanding because some of the acts could be very ambiguous. But I can tell you that all shipping lines wrote to Ghana Shippers Authority to say that these are our locally controlled charges that we are charging.
Okay.
This is what it is.
Okay.
And they said we don't intend, at least we haven't said we are increasing anything since 2024. They haven't increased anything since 2024. And they have submitted this to the Ghana Shippers Authority since, I think, is it February or thereabout. So we are waiting for the feedback. They've come back to us that we can go on with business and at the appropriate...
All right. Someone is contesting the administrative charges. You know, he is a freight forwarder and is saying that it should not even be. You shouldn't even be charging that at all.
Is he a freight forwarder?
He is a freight forwarder.
Does he understand freight? Is he a clearing agent or a freight forwarder?
He is a freight forwarder.
Okay. Then I don't know what to say because I don't know how I can educate a freight forwarder. He's saying that
per the Ghana Shippers Authority law.
Oh, please. What does the law is now going to dictate transportation charges? I haven't seen that in the law. Because at the end of the day, there is what you call basic ocean freight, there is origin charges, and there is destination charges. So is shippers now going to now dictate those things to say that all shipping lines, then they should make it very clear. And the shipping lines is very easy. At the end of the day, the law of the nation, they will respect any law in any nation, right? If they cannot operate in that environment, what do? They have to take their business elsewhere. It's very simple.
Okay. All right. Hold it for me. You want to make a quick input before I go to Michael?
Okay, go to Michael.
Okay. Mike, are you with me? If you can hear me. Mr. Michael Befi.
Following the conversation so well. I mean...
Nice one.
Very interesting.
Right. You are in Parliament and you sit on the Trade and Tourism Committee. First of all, I want to find out if this issue has come to your attention, where we are learning that some shipping lines are actually not applying the current exchange rate, and they are using previous one, like when the dollar was around 15 cedis and all that. Has this issue come to your attention? You are a ranking member of that committee.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I want to extend my felicitations to your panel members in studio and also to your viewers. It will interest you to note that we have received a lot of, I think, 2 or 3 petitions last on this.
Your line, you're making a very important point, but your line is not helping matters. If you can take that again. Yes, I think it's better.
I am now.
It's way better.
So the point I was making to you is that as at the time I left Accra, we had received about 3 petitions from different group of importers. I mean, on this specific issue you talk about, and we're trying to also do our own background checks to be able to find out whether what they are telling us is true or not. And we got to know that it is very true. And I don't know, the last speaker, what's his name, please? The one who finished talking before you came to me.
Oh, Mr. Imoro Ayana.
Mr. Imoro Ayana.
Yeah.
He made very good points. And critically, I think the problem importers and, agents, freight forwarders, whoever, those people in that business, they have with the system is the fact that the shipping lines are taking advantage of them. And that's very simple. And they think that they have not treated them fairly at all. Looking at the situation we are now, clearly they have taken a position that is not so consistent with what is happening now in the system. We have seen some good news happening in the country for some time, and we're expecting that these people will make some amendment or changes to suit what we are seeing now. But nothing like that has happened. It seems to us that they say that the shipping lines are now detecting the pace and putting pressure on the system and forcing the stakeholders to accept their rates, which is not supposed to be the case. What will even also interest you to note that these stakeholders believe that the shipping lines are making so much money from them and repatriating those monies back to the country in the name of giving them good service. But in actual fact, they don't. They think that they are just making a news that is not too sweet. So that's my general opinion on this. But
right. So you believe that most of these shipping lines are shortchanging Ghanaians because they are not just shortchanging Ghanaians, but they are taking advantage of their vulnerability to make sure that they cripple them in business. You know that somebody will have no choice. I mean, they have to come to you because they want good service. Now, in this case, I'm even not talking about those multinational companies in the business. I mean, and vis-a-vis what is also being charged by local ones. But I'm talking about the general view of this case. They think that, okay, there has been some appreciation of the city, and therefore there should be this reflects in the charges that are being given. But the rates that the shipping lines are charging are rates that are not supposed to be charged now. They expect them to do, and they expect them to make some changes to make sure that they get some relief in the form of payments. If you are charging us this rate this time, and there has been some good news in the system, they expect that at least there should be some reduction in some of the charges, especially the ones that they were talking about, administrative charges. And I didn't even understand why he was saying that there's nothing like administrative charges. But there are. He knows that people are going through difficulty in trying to make payments because they think that these people are not just, as I said, shortchanging them, but they are taking advantage of the fact that they don't have a choice but to choose them. And so they will now suppress them and cause them to pay monies that they are not supposed to pay. All right. Mike, hold on for me. I know Mr. Ayana wants to respond to you quickly, but I also have some other guests joining. But let me give him 2 minutes to respond to you quickly on the matter.
Did you say it was a parliamentarian?
Yes.
I'm really, I don't know. I'm lost of words. I'm lost. Because at the end of the day, to make a statement that a business is ripping off a business, I think people forget that the importers are customers to the shipping line. So why will I rip my customer off and kill their business? And next time, what happens?
He's basing that judgment on the petitions.
So, but let me just, before you
Mr.
go on, Mr. Ayana,
we have Mr. Ajokache sitting here, who is saying that the last week, some shipping lines, right? They are adjusting to the rates.
Okay.
And I explained clearly that people cannot understand that these ones that people are aligning high rates to, this is old cargo, just like you explained when we started the dialogue,
right?
That people who had also bought things and are stocking, they are like, they have to exhaust this before.
Okay.
How difficult is this to understand?
Okay, let me bring in Mike briefly. Let me bring in Mike briefly.
Yes, the point is that, so what is necessitating these petitions and issues that are being raised in the system? If what we are saying clearly makes sense to everybody who is listening to you and will easily be accepted by everybody, why are they making issues out of it? Are you so much interested in what you are talking about, or you are also interested in what people feel? In business, you are a business person, and somebody you know is also a business person. The essence of business is to have flexibility, so that you'll be able to please your customers, and your customers will also be able to please you. So there will be a win-win situation. But in a situation where one side is happy and the other side is not happy, there's no business. That's the point we're making. And this point is not about whether you speak good grammar or you're able to explain something to suit what you think is right. That's not what we are talking about here. We are making a very important point. The point I'm making to you is that people have petitioned us as a committee, and these people are raising issues. As a matter of fact, when we spoke to the Ghana Shippers Authority raised other issues that I think I do not want to mention those. Say anything about it now on this particular forum. But the reality is that you and I know that the people of this country who are supposed to be your customers, you are supposed to do business with them. Most of the people, the importers, are not happy. Why are they not happy? That's the point. I am a politician. My interest is to please the people. And if the people you do business with are not happy, and you think that when you explain to us that we should be able to understand it easily, it doesn't work like that.
All right.
My boss. And that is my position.
Mr. Befi, I think that point is well made, but hold on for me. Let me go on to Zoom to speak to Cedi Akron. He is also a clearing agent, and I believe he's a freight forwarder as well. Cedi, you have some concerns. Cedi, kindly unmute so we can hear the point you're making. You are a freight forwarder, and I believe you have some concerns you would want to share with us.
Yes, can you hear me now? I
can hear you loud and clear.
So here is my point. So you can hear me now, right?
I can hear you, but I am getting some feedback from your background. I don't know if it's television or radio.
Sorry, I think I turned off my TV now.
Right, you're still watching.
So the whole point about this issue of local administrative charges and what my president is talking about is that, look, we make shipments from here to other countries, right? So if I make a shipment right now to, let's say, to Great Britain, now I'm making a shipment to Holland. If I pick up an invoice from the shipping line here, on the invoice it is stated that when you get to the point of destination, this is how much you're going to pay in administrative charges. Please tell me that every shipment coming to Ghana has the same thing. Why is it not reciprocal? The other thing is this: any shipping line worth its salt that ships into Ghana knows the custom of this country. Mr. Ayana has just told you how much the charges that Ghana Maritime Authority will take, the charges that Ghana Shippers Authority will take. They know the charges that the handling charges of this local port. So before they do that, all of that has been factored into the freight. What we are talking about right now is the local admin charges. Where do they pick these figures from? I can give you a history of how this thing came about. And it has gone, look, the port serves them best. So they know all of these things. They have the charges already. And that is what he told you, that they have prepaid. So if they have prepaid, why do they come here and still have you pay all these charges? Look, if you're talking 16,000, this is like $1,000 per 40-footer container. How much is the freight? So if you're going to pay just like $1,000 in just admin charges, what is it that they do locally that requires us to pay this much money? They do not carry the container. They do what is just pure administrative work, entering whatever the manifest or what. You understand? That is the core of the problem. You understand?
Hi, can I join in, please?
No, Mr. Ayana, hold in for me. Mr.
No, this is not Ayana. My name is Ford Johnny Mante.
Okay, Johnny Mante, kindly speak to us, but turn your video on. We want to see your faces when you talk to us. So you have the floor.
It's where I am. That's the point. All right. Anyway, thank you. Ayana and the shipping lines have perpetrated thievery in this country for over 2 decades. Look, let me tell you simply. I wasn't privy to the earlier conversation, but I can tell you one thing for sure, that if government, and for that matter, Ministry of Transport, Ministry of Finance, and Ministry of Trade does not look into Ayana's space, the dollar, where the dollar is going now, it will be a thing of the past. I can assure you that. Give you 2 weeks. If they don't look at the shipping lines, look.
A bit strong. No, I mean, they're working in a space. Have been regulated by the Ghana Shippers Authority,
yes,
Ghana Maritime Authority, and to say, to say that they have perpetuated thievery, maybe I think you may have to withdraw that and use a different word.
You can choose your word, but I'm telling you, this is the truth. Look, let me tell you what.
But I think that we can still have.
For the purpose of this discussion, I withdraw. But let me tell you what.
All right.
Ayana and his people, and he's on record. Look, Ayana is on record. Have told us that they don't charge in US dollars. Why is it that today that the dollar is going down? They are telling us that now they have to look at the rate at the port of origin. They told us they don't even charge in US dollars, administrative fee. Now tell us what administrative fee is. Administrative fee basically is the charges that the local lines, don't forget that they are not lines, they are representatives of the lines. The lines have collected the freight, they have collected all the charges at origin. When you get here, essentially, if you have shipped anything, all you have to do is present an original bill of lading, and they will tell you where container is, and you go and pick your container. They are charging you $1,600 at the time that the dollar was 16 cedis. They are charging you 16,000 cedis to do what? What work? Call Guta, call Fabag, call any trading association. They will tell you what I'm telling you.
Okay,
the shipping lines are not supposed, and the lines of Ghana Shippers Authority have told them they have no mandate in charging anybody administrative charges. Further to that,
so you also believe that the administrative charges are illegal?
They are illegal. It's not. I mean, if you've kind of belittled the word illegal, it is nowhere near in our books. Nowhere. They do use.
Okay, I think your point is made.
One second.
Right.
Ghana Shippers Authority regulates the commercial. Ghana Shippers Authority regulates the commercial side of our business. It is Ghana Shippers Authority that ensures that the cargo you pick up from the market, it does not become expensive on the market. So they make sure that everybody comes to sit on the table. So we decide on how much everybody. The shipping lines don't go. They claim they have an MOU. Till date, they've never issued an MOU to anybody. Okay. Why is that only the shipping lines would have an MOU when the law tells you that you have to go to the table and negotiate?
Okay.
Today, the law even tells that you need an approval. Look, this shipping lines matter. We have not even started.
Okay. Johnny Mante, please hold it for me. I will give enough time to Mr. Ayana to respond to some of these concerns that you've raised. But I have another person online, Kobina Mensah. You've also joined the conversation. What is your concern regarding what we're discussing? Kindly unmute and kindly put on your video so we can see and hear you.
Yes, thank you very much, my brother. And greetings to the panel and then also the viewers. Can you please hear me?
I can hear you. My name is PK Mensah. Loud and clear.
Yeah,
we can see you. We want to see you. So if you could turn on your video so we can see you.
Yeah, where I am is very dark. I think you can see me now. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, you proceed.
So, I think this issue about the shipping line has been on the table for a very long time. And then it made the Minister of Transport, assigned the Ships Authority to interrogate what really make up the administrative charges, for the shipping lines. And we met the shipping lines one after the other. We had about 16 meetings on this particular subject. We realized that the actual activity that they do is that when the consignment arrives, the vessel arrives. Now, what happens is that the cargo is supposed to be, as in populated, transmitted to the customs icons so that the GPHA can have access to them, the agents can have access to the containers, importers can have access to the goods, and then get them cleared. So we realized that the activity that they perform does not commensurate to the charge that they are levying. So recommendations were made and sent to the Transport Ministry.
You have to be brief. You have just less than 1 minute to wrap up. So I come to Mr. Yana and Ajokache.
So I want to draw attention that now that this thing has come up again, recommendations were made by the Ghana State Authority to the Transport Ministry. It is on the table of the minister. I would recommend that we call for a copy and then follow up from the ministry.
Okay.
And that will help.
And your full name is what?
PK Mensah.
All right. Thank you so much. Let me give you, I'll come to you, Mr. Ajokache, but I believe that Mr. Yana has some concerns. Of course, these are concerns from some of your clients or people you do business with.
No, I don't.
I'm not sure they are coming to you, at your person. These are issues they have raised.
I don't think so, because I think if people were listening, they would have appreciated. That's why I asked whether we're talking to a parliamentarian. So Parliament gets concerns or petitions.
Yeah.
And they don't call one side to find out, to talk to them to appreciate what it is. I'll pack that.
But don't forget, Parliament will resume this week. So it's an issue they can look into.
No, that's fine. Anytime we are ready to sit and...
Right. But that is not to say...
But to make conclusive statements is a shame. For want of a better word, to make conclusive statements without hearing or even understanding the business of the other side, I think we should hasten a bit in Ghana.
Right.
If you listen to all the people calling, everybody is making accusations without any substance, right? The shipping lines, like I keep saying, dialogue is the issue. We are open and we are always ready to sit with anybody. The shippers, the customers, those who are importing, they are customers to the shipping line. If they have issues, they should be able to go to the shipping lines to ask them, to inquire as to what is happening, what is this, and it can be explained. Failure which you can start jumping around. How can somebody be charging 1,000 cedis administrative fee? I think before this program, I sent you charges in other countries, even Togo and Abidjan. And you saw that they were most of the nomenclature was even more than Ghana. They were charging all kinds of things.
But of course, they have different laws, and we have different...
No. It's not about the law. It's about the trade. You understand me? And I didn't just show you Africa. I showed you Europe. And if you listen to what the people are saying, sometimes...
So one of the key... I'll come to Mr. Ajokache. One of the key concerns all of them have raised is about the administrative charges. They are saying that it is not supposed to be... because all those charges have been added up to whatever they pay at the port.
That is why I'm telling you that this was not a freight forwarder talking. If it's a freight forwarder, the freight forwarder will know that there are origin charges and there is basic ocean freight. The basic ocean freight is just when, after the container is loaded on the vessel, the journey that the vessel makes from one point to one point without discharging the cargo. And Mr. Ajokache
and that is the freight. We know
that is the basic ocean freight. That's freight. So if somebody tells you
you are saying that you are saying
that
the freight administrative charges are not added to the freight.
But they are not added
at all.
It's not. So if you are a freight forwarder, you would understand these basic shipping rules. So
Ayana, we understand these things. We do understand.
Please, you don't.
We do.
You don't. So just
Yeah, we
relax.
do. You are the only
know-
person that could keep saying that nobody understands the industry.
Okay,
Even
Michael
oil.
Bayfield,
You are the only one that keeps saying that we don't
Is he talking or I'm talking?
Okay, Michael Bayfield, please hold on. Let Mr. Ayana land. I'll come to Mr. Jokache. We are running out of time, so
Please,
just make it quick.
At the end of the day, this is not a fight that people will shout. This is business, and we are all in an environment.
And we need the shipping lines as well, too.
And we need the traders also. We need the importers. We need everybody, you know, and we need Ghana. Ghana first. So we should look at Ghana. What they are doing, rather, they are hurting Ghana. Because at the end of the day, if you don't understand international trade and you start, giving people all kinds of names, etc., what are you doing? You are hurting the investor community.
All right.
And it's very dangerous.
Okay, I think your point is made. Now we have 10 minutes to go. How do we resolve all of this to ensure that you, the freight forwarder, you're able to do your business if the cedi falls to, say, 9 cedis tomorrow at exchange? The next hour, you are getting that reflected in whatever you pay, be it administrative charges, be it freight charges, be whatever charges at the port.
Last week, when the cedi came to 12.3, some lines quickly adjusted
to the 12.3.
So that is where I was fighting with my brother that if some lines can do it, but particular line, we're not doing it. And he was coming to explain that they've tied those containers that were coming to Ghana in that period, that was maybe in April or April.
Before.
April. That is why they couldn't change their rates.
Okay.
So it's difficult for everybody to understand. But this is what they are saying.
Okay.
So going forward, the lines themselves should come out of their shell and say, this is what we practice. So that maybe those who don't understand now, or me, myself, that I don't understand, we all can understand.
Okay.
So that tomorrow, if I want to ship with you, I'll say, no, this particular line, this is what they do, I go to a different line.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of lines running all over.
Right.
So if this is what you do every time, then we have to leave you and ship with other people.
Okay. Let me come to Michael
just a quick one. You see
just 30 seconds.
You see what Mr. Jokache said? Someone, a parliamentarian, said there's monopoly. He's telling you that there's a free market. You understand me? So as Ghana, please, let's just appreciate the situation and speak like business people and speak like people who want the trade to go on. But like I told Mr. Jokache, at the end of the day, look, all the shipping lines have a different business model. They are not one.
But your association should be able to regulate them in a way
regulate
it's very important
business. No, it's not possible.
You can't regulate your members.
You can't regulate somebody's business. This is private
business.
So
why then are you an association?
Business. No, it's not a government business. And you are not going to regulate somebody's cost base. You don't even know the person's cost base. What are you going to say? You can talk of principles of shipping. This is the principle. Maybe these are the services that can be charged, etc. But the quantum, etc., you don't even know the person's cost base.
All right. Thank you so much. Michael Bayfield, you are coming back to Parliament somewhere this week, I believe tomorrow or Tuesday.
I've never said anywhere that they are enjoying monopoly. Did I say that?
No, you did not say that.
I was talking about
no
people's
option.
vulnerability. So the point must be made clear. Mr. Ayana.
Yes, sir.
We are all doing business. I mean, the essence of this discussion is to be able to shape the system to make sure that we're able to do business well. That's all about what we're doing now. Note that Ghana is practicing free market system. And so, as you said, nobody can force somebody who is operating a certain business model to come out with a certain pricing. But we have to also note that you are dealing with our people. These people are the people we call Ghanaians. And so they expect something. You know, when there's a change, they expect that the change should reflect in whatever charges that are being. That is exactly what we are making. This is not about listening to one side. All the speakers who have spoken this evening have all said one thing. And it is, whether you like it or not, we can somehow draw conclusions that people are not happy with the shipping line. That's the fact. You can't do anything about it. But my point is that, coming onto this program, I have done a lot of work. Prior to what I know, I've also done a lot of work. I've spoken to a lot of stakeholders. I've spoken to the Ghana Shippers Authority. I've spoken to Maritime Authority. I've spoken to some of the shipping lines, not the free forwarders. I've spoken to the importers and exporters. I've spoken to a lot of people, and they have shared their opinions. And I'm trying to be very diplomatic here, not to even draw conclusions. That's why I said to you that Parliament has not sat on these things, but the simple conclusion somehow will be able to come out is that things are not too well. You are operating a system, and what we understand as politicians is that Ghanaians will expect that, okay, if the dollar prices are going up, prices of shipment and other things may also go up. But when it comes down, there should be some equivalent arrangement where people will also receive some relief in the form of reduction of tariffs and prices. But we don't see these things. People will come out with issues, and that is what we are looking at.
All right.
The next point let me make this clear. Whether we like it or not, we have to also start thinking about, trying to regulate and conform it to standards.
Mike, can you wrap up? I have less than 1 minute.
Agree that let us have a way. We may charge prices that are almost the same, so that people will not excessively charge prices that are so outrageous. That will create problems in the system. Because whether you like it or not, the shipping lines are making so much money, and that's what we're saying.
Are you going to do something about this in Parliament when you come back?
Next week, I'll be in Parliament on Tuesday, and I'm sure next week we'll start sitting on these cases to be able to hear the other side, as Mr. Yana said.
Thank you so much, Michael Otrebefe, is ranking member on the Trade and Tourism Committee in Parliament. Mr. Adamu Imoro. Adam Imoro Ayana is the executive member of the Ship Owners and Agent Association of Ghana, as well as Stephen Ajokache, the president of the Ghana Freight Forwarders Association. We also want to say that we try to reach the Ghana Shippers Authority, as well as the Ghana Maritime Authority and all those stakeholders to join this conversation, but we've not been successful. This has been The Probe. We have a lot more on this on myjoyonline.com. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good evening.